Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here with another Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Wi-Fi battle. Today we're going to be hopping on the Pikachu ladder with a Wigglytuff. Now, Wigglytuff is a really interesting Pokemon. The biggest thing it has going for it, its ability to run Bolt Beam, which is Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, has access to Stealth Rock and Thunder Wave, and it's giant HP stat, right? It has a base 140 HP stat. So even though it has base 45 defense, base 50 special defense, it's relatively bulky because of that high HP stat. So it can at least take one hit, and that's what's important. So the way I want to use Wigglytuff, I already mentioned I'm using Bolt Beam, Stealth Rock, and Thunder Wave. If you guys want to see the full team, it's down below in a Pokepaste. But I want to use it as a support Pokemon. The idea is I'll weaken a Rhydon with Ice Beam, or I'll weaken an Aerodactyl with Thunderbolt or Ice Beam, or I'll paralyze them, allowing something like Mega Beedrill to put in work, right? Because after an Ice Beam from Wigglytuff, Mega Beedrill knocks out Rhydon with Adrenaline. So Rhydon, one of the best checks to Mega Beedrill in the tier outside of Aerodactyl, is now weakened to the point of Mega Beedrill dealing with it. So again, we're using Wigglytuff as a support Pokemon in this. I think that's the best way to use it. I don't think it's a sweeper. It's not anything like that. It's not going to be putting in a lot of work, even if it goes for... It doesn't really have much going for it. That's it. But it has a really solid move pool because it is a normal type. Maybe you can use something with Teleport. I'm not entirely sure. But if you guys missed any of my previous Wi-Fi battles, there is a playlist down below. I always ask that you guys suggest Pokemon you want me to see. Sometimes you guys suggest Pokemon that I've already used. I encourage you to check out the playlist. Just look at the pictures on the thumbnails. They basically show the Pokemon that was featured, right? If a Pokemon has not been featured, that means I will be using it again. And when I deem that it has done enough work in it, or if it's something like this where I'm specifically trying to use Wigglytuff as a support Pokemon, it'll get the thumbnail. That means I've used it. Also, you guys can check out the guide to team voting in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee that I made. A lot of people have been asking for that. I made one. There is a link to it down below. But I will pause it, guys. We will be right back with the battle. Alright, guys. So we have a game. This is a really cool one. Love my opponent's team. A few Pokemon that I actually plan on using. Golbat. I was actually going to put on this team for opposing Beedrill, but it is a Beedrill check. My opponent also has access to Mega Pinsir. They have Marowak, Alolan, Raichu, Poliwrath, and Gengar. So potentially the Mega Gengar or Mega Pinsir. I love Wigglytuff getting up the rocks in this. That's going to be really important. Also, it can Thunder Wave the Golbat, which would be really important too for Poliwrath outspeeding it. This is going to be a fun game. It's really going to be a fun game, but I love Wigglytuff as a lead, as it doesn't lose to anything besides Gengar, really. It doesn't mind being poisoned by Golbat, and I can Thunder Wave that too, like I said. So but yeah, the idea is lead off with Wigglytuff, maybe get up rocks for Pinsir, Thunder Wave, something that's faster, that's a threat, maybe Ice Beam the Marowak as well. I think that's really important too. So yeah, they lead off with Marowak, their rocker. I will definitely value Ice Beaming this first over setting up rocks first, mainly because this is one of the Pokemon that does take a hit from Beedrill, but if I Ice Beam it, then it can't take a hit. So, and the cool thing is, my Beedrill is running Outrage in this game, which is, like, it's not really the best. Usually you'll see Exeter. That's a solid 2-hit KO, not bad. Goes for Swords Dance there. We'll see, though. I was faster this time. This is a speed tie. However, I mean, if I win it, that'd be fantastic. Let's see. +2 Earthquake shouldn't even knock me out. And again, if I win this speed tie, it's amazing for me. So I'm going to go for another Ice Beam here. As they do switch out, they tried to go for a little bit more of an aggressive play turn 1 as Poliwrath is going to come in. And I am completely fine with potentially weakening this thing with Thunder Wave, or, well, slowing it down with Thunder Wave. I do live 1 superpower from Poliwrath, which is very important. And slowing it down could be really cool for my Muck for later. So I'll definitely Thunder Wave here. I live this Waterfall. I live the superpower because it's only neutral, as I am part Fairy. That's a crit. Crits me, but let's see if I'm able to get my Thunder Wave off. Thankfully, I'm able to land my Thunder Wave. Fantastic. So, able to land my Thunder Wave. Not only have I weakened the Marowak, but I've crippled the Poliwrath. And again, that's the whole idea behind Wigglytuff. So, even if it goes down here, I mean, best scenario, he gets full paired. I love Wigglytuff in that little screenshot. That might be the thumbnail, too. But yeah, I've already opened up that door that I need for... I really wish he didn't crit me, because I would have lived too. But I've already opened up that door that I need for my Beedrill to win this game. So I think that Poliwrath is my best bet. Not only does my opponent really not switch in well, but I also get a free bulk up here. Yeah, I get a nice bulk up here. I'm assuming they might stay in initially, just to get off superpower damage. But yeah, I get a bulk up. I can potentially go for a Waterfall or Sewer Power. Because I don't think Sewer Power will actually KO Poliwrath unless they go for their own Sewer Power. Oh, goes for Hypnosis and misses. So pretty lucky for me, but that's for the crit. I'm going to go for Waterfall here over Sewer Power because a +1 Sewer Power will not knock out Poliwrath anyway. So Waterfall gives me an extra chance to flinch him. It also hits Gengar if he wants to make that play on the Sewer Power or Alolan Raichu. And it puts him in range of Sewer Power. So that's why it's my better play than going initially for a Sewer Power right here. As he does switch out. So I'm assuming he's going to go either Gengar or Alolan Raichu predicting the Sewer Power. So this is why Waterfall was my best play. This would be fantastic if it takes you out too. But yeah, again, that's why I went for Waterfall there. So missing Hypnosis was big, but so was critting my Wigglytuff, you know? I don't want to take a Thunderbolt or anything. As far as endgame winning goes, I've already won the game with Dragonite, right? I need a little bit more damage on Poliwrath. Marowak is in range. Pinsir dies after rocks. Gengar dies after rocks. I can agility up on a lot as well. I have to be careful about losing the Pinsir though, but with rocks up, Dugtrio should check it as well. We're going to switch out. Speaking of which, we're going to switch out to Dugtrio here on either the Thunderbolt or Psychic. Obviously, we can take one or the other. Yep, goes for Thunderbolt, not bad. I can just follow it up with a Rock Slide. Do I need to predict? I don't think I need to predict Golbat. I'm going to go for Earthquake. Earthquake hits everything. If he goes Golbat, no big deal. This is a speed tie that I was actually able to win there too. You know, had my opponent won the first speed tie with Marowak, I think they would have switched out and done something differently. But yeah, we're able to get rid of Raichu. Fantastic. Couldn't come in on Rock, so I understand him not wanting to switch, but maybe saving it for a sack for later. I'm assuming Poliwrath is going to want to come out now. Poliwrath or Marowak? Yeah, it goes Poliwrath. I'm not sure on the damage on Marowak. It does have base 110 defense, so I'm assuming it does live an Earthquake at that range it was at. But Poliwrath is a smart play too. If I'm them, I go for either Waterfall or Sewer Power, or I try and go for Hypnosis. Either way, I think that my Poliwrath is the most expendable member. Because Gengar obviously threatens it with either its stabs or even some super effective damage and potentially Thunderbolt or Dazzling Gleam or Psychic. Golbat can threaten it with Toxic and Air Slash. Goes for Hypnosis, does manage to connect. Very nice. I want to be a little bit aggressive here. But I don't want them waterfalling. That's the problem. What I really don't want is my opponent getting up rocks either. I'm going to stay in with my Poliwrath. I don't want them getting up rocks if they're able to. If I can prevent it, that'd be great. I can't wake up this turn, but I can wake up the next turn. So if they choose to go Marowak and get up rocks, it's really aggressive, but it's fine if I burn the initial turn of sleep. I really love Shiny Golbat. It reminds me of a juicy fruit. Anyway, Golbat comes out. Best thing he can do is Air Slash me. But which is still problematic, don't get me wrong. That's annoying. I think that it's in my best interest to go Dragonite and try and weaken his entire team with Outrage, right? By doing this, I opened up a door for my Beedrill in the late game to basically do the exact same thing. I already have Drillrun for Gengar. I can knock out Marowak. If I weaken Poliwrath, that'll go down. So it does go for Air Slash here. That's fine. I'm going to go for an Agility now. Let's see if he has Taunt or Whirlwind. I think a Toxic might come out if anything. Does go for Toxic. Nice. But we are going to be able to Agility up. And again, we're using Dragonite to break for Beedrill. And this is all possible because rocks were up. We got the damage on Marowak. We were able to paralyze Poliwrath as well. So this is all really good for me. At the end of the day, my Beedrill's Outrage does deal with Golbat. And depending on the Golbat set, it might not even be able to take this Outrage. So that's the reason why I Agility'd up there. Yeah, this is blowing away Golbat. And if I blow away Golbat, then Beedrill has such a better time. So I click Outrage here. Golbat's gone. Rocks are up because of Wigglytuff, so Golbat goes down. Awesome. Again, that door has really been opened up for Beedrill because of the initial damage on Marowak, because of the rocks going up. It only would have been better had Poliwrath not crit me. But Dodging Hypnosis was nice too, so I can't really complain. Dodging Hypnosis was really nice. So whatever he goes out into, whether it be Mega Gengar or Pinsir, I'm fine with. One Pokemon he could go out into is Poliwrath, but it really depends on the Poliwrath set as well. Because Outrage is going to do a good chunk. gives me Marowak. I do not believe Marowak lives this hit. But I think what he doesn't want to do is he doesn't want to go Poliwrath and let it take a hit because he acknowledges the fact that my Beedrill is a giant threat, right? So I don't mind Marowak going down because that's one of his 2 Stealth Rockers he could have. Obviously, Pinsir also gets Stealth Rock. I think it's Mega Pinsir. Let's see if we get a 3-turn Outrage. I think we only got a 2-turn Outrage. Let's see if Confusion hits. Nope. We got a 3-turn Outrage. Nice. Which means that whatever comes in is either taking a heavy hit or going down. So this is absolutely fantastic. And he goes Poliwrath, and that's the last Pokemon that I needed to come in to weaken for my Beedrill. So all this was possible by Wigglytuff early on, and again by Dragonite breaking because of it. Eventually Dragonite will get a thumbnail. I mean here it should get it, but I'm showing off the support that Wigglytuff does. Yep, beautiful damage. I should go down to whatever attack Poliwrath goes for. Goes for Ice Beam. That's fine. Over Ice Punch, it's the same thing. It doesn't really matter. And now what I can do is they only have Poliwrath, Gengar, and Pinsir left, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to get in my Beedrill here. We're going to Mega Evolve and just click Poison Jab. If Pinsir comes out after, luckily Pinsir doesn't have Aerial Late boosted Quick Attack anymore, so that's not something I have to fear. I can just Mega Evolve and click that Poison Jab. If you go Gengar, I do outspeed you as well. So switching out is really not in his best interest. What he wants to do is probably go get the free switch into Pinsir and try and do something from there. But yeah. Gonna hit him up with a Poison Jab. Pick up that KO. Beautiful. Really, really nice. So a play my opponent could have made in the first turn instead of going for Swords Dance was going for Rocks. But at the same time, like, I don't know what you'd really expect from a Wigglytuff. That's why it's pretty cool to use something like this. Gengar comes out. Beedrill's Drill Run, does that KO always? Because if it doesn't, I don't want to... I feel like it's a roll at worst. It's in my favor to KO, but because I literally have... I don't have to click this now, right? Like, Outrage will knock him out after U-turn, and because I literally saved my Alolan Muck for this Pokemon, I will go for U-turn here. I will go for U-turn here over going for Drill Run. And again, the main reason I'm going for this is because I do not want to miss. If I miss Drill Run, Gengar could potentially Will-O-Wisp me, and maybe that'd be bad for Pinsir in the late game. So by going for U-turn here, I ensure that Outrage KOs Gengar, or I also ensure that I can get in my Muck and just click Crunch. So basically, if he goes Pinsir after, doesn't really matter, even if it's like Bulk Up, because I've ensured the damage for Outrage. Outrage now definitely KOs, so and he goes for Psychic too, so awesome. I get him my Muck for free. So what we're doing here is we're trying to win with the least amount of chance possible. He does have Will-O-Wisp and misses. I'm so sorry about that, dude. What I would have done versus Pinsir was Toxic it anyway. I mean, I'm still going to Toxic Pinsir no matter what, even if it starts setting up. But Will-O-Wisp missing does suck. For sure. Miss Hypnosis, miss Will-O-Wisp. This dude cannot land status to save his life. Pinsir's going to come out. It cannot Mega Evolve now. I can go for Swords Dance, but it can't Mega Evolve. All I got to do is go for Toxic. 100% accurate because Muck is a Poison type too. Even if he landed that Will-O-Wisp, I don't think he had a winning shot at this point. I think it was checkmate. If this is Bulk Up Pinsir, maybe it could do something. Yeah, it just goes for Earthquake. But I have, that shouldn't KO me. I have an Alolan Dugtrio to threaten this thing with the Rock Slide. I have Beedrill to outspeed it and knock it out with Outrage. So at the same time, I think I basically would have just 2-hit KO Gengar. If Gengar switched out and he went Pinsir, he would have came in on Pinsir on Crunch plus Rocks. And then I still would have lived Earthquake. I would have been able to get off a Toxic. And Beedrill could just Outrage to knock out Pinsir and that'd be game. So I think that, you know, regardless of the miss, I still would have had it. So we can just Crunch here. I have Fire Blast as well. I'll just click Fire Blast. But yeah, that goes down. And at that point, it doesn't guarantee go down to my Beedrill, I want to say. I don't think it guarantees goes down to Beedrill, but I can bring out Alolan Dugtrio and just Earthquake for damage, just to ensure that Beedrill comes in and clicks Poison Jab or Outrage or U-turn, any attack, and it should win. That should be game. Obviously, Earthquake is not very effective, but it's not about hitting him for super effective damage. It's about guaranteeing damage off, right? Rock Slide could miss. If Rock Slide misses, Pinsir wouldn't be a problem, but I get no damage off, which is the reason I went out to Dugtrio to get off the damage, to be able to bring out my my Beedrill and just win the game with Poison Jab. And that should be it. That was it. Again, that was just the idea behind it. Not bad. I think Wigglytuff did what it had to do. It supported the team. Rocks were super crucial. I was able to get off damage on Marowak early for both Beedrill and Dragonite. And honestly, I want to take it like, I'm not going to get a game where Wigglytuff is going to KO 6 Pokemon, right? That's not realistic. Not in a tier where you have Pokemon like Zapdos, Mega Aerodactyl, Starmie running around, right? I can threaten all those with Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, or Thunder Wave. Obviously not Zapdos, I can't Thunder Wave that. I can threaten Rhydon with it. But again, the idea behind it was use Wigglytuff as a support Pokemon. And if you guys want to use it yourself, you can. Oh, there's an ambulance going around back there. But use Wigglytuff as a support Pokemon. Use it to Thunder Wave, use it to Ice Beam, use it to get off damage, use it to get off rocks. It's a rocker that threatens opposing rockers. That was the main thing that I liked about Wigglytuff. And from there, open up a door for your late game sweepers or cleaners, right? I have Agility Dragonite, which you guys saw was able to put in work because of Wigglytuff's pressure and rocks. And you saw that Beedrill was able to clean up. And at Team Preview, that's what I was going for. I knew that Beedrill would be the win, and all because of Wigglytuff. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. Of course, if you do, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Like I said, you guys can check out the playlist down below if there's other Pokemon you want me to feature. I'm just happy that Wigglytuff was able to put in a little bit of work here. But I will see you guys next time. Have a great day, night, whatever. Goodbye, my friends.